Imagine a cold night tens of thousands of years ago. A small fire burns beneath the stars. Early humans sit together in silence. They have no books, no cities, no schools, and no alphabet. Yet they possess something extraordinary. They can communicate. But one question remains. What was the first language ever spoken? The answer is one of the greatest mysteries in human history. Long before English, Arabic, Chinese, or Sanskrit existed, human beings were already sharing ideas, emotions, warnings, and stories. Scientists believe language did not suddenly appear. Instead, it developed slowly over countless generations. At first, communication was probably very simple. A raised hand could signal danger, a pointed finger could identify food, a facial expression could communicate fear, happiness, anger, or trust. Gradually, these simple signals became more complex. Imagine a group of hunters moving through an enormous grassland. They must work together to survive. They must warn one another about danger. They must share information quickly and accurately. Communication becomes essential. Some researchers believe language evolved from gestures. Others think people may have imitated sounds from the natural world. Birds singing in the trees, thunder echoing across the sky, rushing rivers, and howling animals may all have influenced the sounds humans created. Another theory suggests that language developed because cooperation became increasingly important. As human beings spread across mountains, forests, deserts, and grasslands, their languages slowly changed. Groups that became separated developed new words, new sounds, and new ways of speaking. Over thousands of years, one language became many languages. Today, thousands of languages exist throughout the world. Unfortunately, many are disappearing. When a language dies, ancient stories disappear with it. Traditions vanish. Knowledge is lost. Entire ways of understanding the world fade away forever. This creates a problem for scientists. Unlike bones, tools, or cave paintings, spoken words leave almost no physical evidence behind. Researchers must therefore rely upon clues. They study migration patterns, human biology, ancient settlements, and similarities among modern languages. Little by little, they reconstruct fragments of humanity's distant past. This brings us back to the great mystery. Was there a single original language? Did different groups create language independently? Or will the answer remain forever hidden? At the moment, nobody knows. Perhaps we will never discover the first language. Its sounds disappeared thousands of years ago. No recordings exist. No books remain. Only traces survive. Ancient tools, cave paintings, footprints left behind by people whose voices have long since vanished. Yet one thing is certain. Language changed human history forever. It allowed knowledge to pass from one generation to another. It allowed people to cooperate, build civilizations, and transform ideas into reality. Every great invention, every empire, every discovery, and every story ever told exists because human beings learned how to communicate. Perhaps the greatest mystery is not the identity of the first language itself. Perhaps the greatest mystery is how simple sounds became words, how words became stories, and how stories eventually became civilization. Even today, as billions of people speak to one another across the planet, humanity continues searching for the voice that started it all. And perhaps that search will never truly end. Today, speaking feels effortless. You open your mouth, words appear, and another person immediately understands what you mean. But for the first humans, things were very different. Every sound mattered. Every movement carried meaning. Every expression could mean the difference between safety and danger. Scientists believe that language did not appear overnight. Instead, it evolved slowly over thousands of generations. Long before written words existed, our ancestors probably relied on gestures. A raised hand might have warned others about danger. A pointed finger might have identified food. A particular expression might have communicated fear, trust, or excitement. Over time, these simple signals became more complex. Communication became more precise. Ideas became more detailed. Eventually, human beings developed the ability to create an astonishing variety of sounds. Imagine a group of hunters crossing an enormous grassland. They must work together. They must protect one another. They must communicate quickly and accurately. Without communication, survival becomes almost impossible. Perhaps that struggle for survival changed humanity forever. Little by little, language became one of the greatest tools our species would ever possess. This creates an enormous challenge for scientists. Unlike bones, tools, or cave paintings, spoken language leaves almost no evidence behind. A stone tool can survive for thousands of years. A painting can remain on a cave wall for an incredibly long time. But spoken words disappear almost instantly. Because of this, researchers must search for clues. They study ancient migration routes. They compare modern languages. They examine the human brain. And they look for patterns that might reveal how language first developed. The deeper scientists look into the past, the more mysterious the story becomes. Thousands of languages have appeared throughout human history. Thousands have disappeared forever. Some vanished because people moved to different places. Others disappeared because of wars, diseases, and natural disasters. Over time, entire cultures lost their voices. Today, only fragments remain: a few symbols, a few paintings, a few stories, and countless unanswered questions. This brings us back to the great question: what was the very first language ever spoken? Was there a single original language from which every other language emerged? Or did language develop independently among different groups of people living in different places? Scientists continue debating these questions even today. Some believe that all modern languages share a common ancestor. Others believe that language evolved many times as human beings spread across the world. At the moment, there is no final answer, and perhaps there never will be. That uncertainty is what makes this mystery so fascinating. Yet one thing is absolutely certain: language changed the course of human history forever. It allowed knowledge to pass from one generation to another. It allowed human beings to share ideas, dreams, fears, and ambitions. It allowed people to cooperate in ways that no other species could achieve. Every great invention, every civilization, every scientific discovery, and every story ever told exists because human beings learned to communicate with one another. Language became one of humanity's greatest achievements, and its story is still being written. So, will we ever discover the world's first language? The truth is, we may never know. The first spoken words disappeared thousands of years ago. No recordings exist. No books remain. No one was there to write them down. All we have are clues, fragments of stories, ancient tools, cave paintings, and the extraordinary ability of the human mind to search for answers. Perhaps the greatest mystery is not the language itself, but the fact that human beings learned to transform simple sounds into ideas, ideas into stories, and stories into civilization. And even today, as millions of conversations continue around the world, the search for humanity's first voice goes on. What do you think? Was there one original language that gave birth to every language we know today? Or did language develop independently in different parts of the world? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy exploring the mysteries of human history, be sure to subscribe and join us on our next journey into the distant past.